The Rocky theme plays, and off we go from South Philadelphia. Back into the end zone. Touchback. Eagles get it to 35. Here's their offense. It's a fake to Saquon right away, and a throw on the sideline at the 49, incomplete. 2 plays, 2 pass attempts, and this one's dropped. Goddard can hold on, and it's 3rd down coming up. Lions missing defensive backs again tonight. We'll detail that in a little bit. Jahan Dotson makes it 3 receivers for the Eagles. 3rd and 10. Detroit brings an extra rusher. The pass is caught for the 1st down. It's A.J. Brown. Just kind of settle in. After the gain of 12, Hurts back to pass again. Hutchinson was held. Flag is down. Barkley no, he does not hang on. It's incomplete. Ruled incomplete at the 20-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 65. It's a 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Tank Bigsby is in at running back, spelling Barkley here. He runs to the 41 against the Detroit defense. They're starting DBs here tonight. 2nd and 15, and Hurts throwing sideline back to Brown. Not on the same page. Rakusin was the man. 5 plays, 4 pass attempts to the Eagles so far. And a passing down as the Lions rush 3. Drop 8. So Hurts has time. Will anybody uncover? Now he takes off, and the Lions are right there to get him. It'll be a Braden man to kick it. Khalif Raymond back deep. Again, catching punts will be an issue for the return men tonight. Raymond has space. He's got it at the 15. Trying to take it to the wide side of the field. And doesn't get too far. Lions start their own 14 with Jared Goff as quarterback. Got some protection, throws it complete on the edge. Amon-Ra St. Brown to the 22. Here's the rest of the Lions offense. Gain of 8 to St. Brown, right back to the air. Jahmyr Gibbs on the edge. And he's got a 1st down across the 25-yard line.
Ask those coaches, and he changes it. No way, he can throw it.
Scanning here, it's deflected and intercepted. On the deflection, Cooper DeJean has it at 12-yard line.
These defensive tackles inside so good, and they know that if they're getting blocked and that ball's coming out quickly, they are going to get those mitts up in the air, times it just right, gets put on his back for it, but what a way to open this game for Philadelphia. Those 2 guys inside are just key. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, 2 of the best, and speaking of the best, Cooper DeJean is something else.
DeJean's interception, his 1st in the regular season. Let's face it, pulls it, A.J. Brown, only for a couple.
Before he got hurt. Sometimes you got to be a little careful, though.
For tight ends, not a clean hand to Barkley. He's only going to get a yard as the Lions defense steps up here. Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell, Aleem McNeil, and will remain there. So it's 5 wide, empty backfield. Hurts, slant, Brown, no. Rakusin with the coverage.
Cornerback, but his strength is what you see. This bump and run jam. He attacks receivers off the line of scrimmage, and he was good enough on that one. So to have the backup corner in the game, and
27-yarder for the vet. Able to power it through, and Philadelphia takes advantage of the deflection and interception to get 3 points. Owning this Eagles franchise, a Boston kid who not only made good, he's made great. What a franchise this is. All the success. Lions bring it back on the kickoff. It is Raymond not getting past. Against Green Bay on Monday night, they held their last 2 opponents to season lows in yards, and that time Zach Bond, the leader in that linebacking core, gets Jahmyr Gibbs and brings him down for a loss of a yard.
There's big tackles up front, and when anytime they're seeing double teams on those guys, these linebackers are going to shoot through here and make plays just like this. You can't double team every time. The minute those linebackers see it, they're going to shoot the gap.
Sam Laporta, their terrific tight end on injured reserve with a back injury. Such a key part of this passing game and blocking as a flag is down as Goff goes down and is sacked.
Watch the little hesitation move and then blitz on top of it. Looked like he was going to kind of came off the other.
So now the Lions will face 3rd and 16. That Eagles 4-man pressure getting there. Pass in the middle is incomplete. Intended for St. Brown. Dan even said that. It was like a perfect storm last week of everybody in place and going up against one of the league's poorer defenses. Different story tonight. Jack Fox did not punt last week. Gets this one away. And with the bounce, it'll be a good one for Fox. There's a flag down. It's 55 on the kick.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 54. That penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down, Philadelphia. Timeout.
So the holding penalty takes it back to the 20-yard line where this drive begins. And room to run for Barkley. On the edge, 15 to the 35-yard line.
They are just continuing to go big over here. They get the defense to shift and then get the hook block on the outside over there. It is just a bit of, if you're seeing this with your eyes, we're going to try and go there. We've seen it early on. They've gone big with 6 offensive linemen.
Play action. Hurts throws to the crossing tight end Goddard right around the 40-yard line. It's a good first down pickup of a half dozen. Dallas Goddard. 2nd and 4. And an inside run for just about 3 yards. Maybe 1 short of it. It was being inside handoff, and it's stopped up. That's Trevor Nowoski off the edge as the Lions in the middle took care of business. Starting with the rookie Tyleik Williams, their first-round pick.
Here's the key play right here is that got stuffed back. They tried to go with the double team, and he just absolutely held his ground in there against Landon Dickerson, who's one of the more powerful guards in the league.
Looks like the building's in shock. It was 3rd and 1. The Eagles didn't pick it up. They got knocked back a yard. So Braden Mann kicks. Khalif Raymond catches at the 12 and chased down by Keely Ringo. Really good on special teams as a gunner. And to Jameson Williams, use his speed on the edge. Turns it up. Williams hit by Makuba, the safety, but a gain of 9 for.
But he was the one that took over and made some big plays.
David Montgomery inside, power backs. It's that first down to the 27-yard line. Lions' 2nd first down of the night. And Goff play action to Montgomery out of the backfield. And he's right around the marker near the first down. They see a little more of this from the Lions tonight. They're 2 backs in together, Gibbs and Montgomery. Pocket collapses, Goff fires, it's caught. It's Williams turning upfield, and Jameson Williams with a first down to the 44-yard line, gain of 19.
You're going to try and get underneath, and then you wrap around it here, because what the Eagles like to do is they want to jump these routes underneath. You see it happen there, and it opened up the middle of the field.
Montgomery takes the direct snap, fakes it, keeps it, runs it inside. And the gain of a yard. Somehow nobody went with Jared Goff as the option to the left as he was lined up behind Montgomery. 2nd and 8. Pressure with Bond. Goff off the spot, throws incomplete at the feet of Brock Wright, the other tight end. Can't see the play call sheet without the glasses.
Make it up, Dad.
That's right. We've all been there. Montgomery. He's only going to get a yard or 2. And nothing from the Lions.
Delay of game. Offense number 16. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And so they will punt it, try to get the free 5 to get to 4th and 1. They do not. They choose not to go for the 58-yarder with Bates. Try to get Fox to pin the Eagles in deep. Gibson with fair catch at the 15. Right, that he's just not been as productive as he once was. Barkley to the left, chased by Hutchinson. Meek Robertson fell down. It's a gain of about 4 yards.
And when it's constantly coming up again and again, it becomes a distraction to the team, the quarterback, and the head coach.
Lee McNeil with the first contact. Jack Campbell there to clean up on Saquon Barkley. Will Shipley the back. Twisting rush from Detroit. Pass is incomplete.
It's going to set up Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown, and like it did last year.
Lions double both of the gunners. Mann kicks it to the sideline and out of bounds. Raymond can do nothing with it as part of this Lions offense the last 3 years. And here he is running inside to the 45. It's a gain of a half dozen, Melissa, for the third-year back. Barry Sanders is around the Lions organization a lot. Tristan Colon remains in there at guard for the injured Ratledge as Gibbs gets punished inside. 3rd and 1. They'll do it inside. Gibbs is stopped. And Dan Skipper in there putting more beef on that offensive line. Quick count. They go for it. Gibbs gets stopped. And Jomo got him by the legs. He's short. It's going to be Philadelphia ball. Lane Johnson remains out, questionable with a foot injury. Hurts protected, taking a downfield shot into double coverage. Incomplete. Blanketed was Devontae Smith. They got crammed back by good old Brandon Graham, still going. Back with the Eagles. The throw for Goddard is behind him as he was entangled with Branch.
A.J. Brown gets one-on-ones.
3rd and 10. Throwing sideline, and the pass incomplete. As Smith was over there late, the Lions made the exchange, and Amik Robertson went over to cover this Detroit defense.
Again, staying with the man-to-man coverage. We always talk about Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, how good they are. There's a little grab of the arm right there. I thought I saw that as well.
6th year out of Texas A&M. Towards some pressure this time. Throws up the fair catch. Tough to catch. 2 flags down as he dives to bring it in at the 20.
Number 54. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down, Lions.
So add it, take it to the 36. Penalty on Jeremiah Trotter Jr. After missing the last series. Now first down, not much for Montgomery, but he bounces it outside. Patiently gets about 3 yards. The former Chicago Bear to the 38-yard line. Lions have 3rd receiver Isaac Tesla, the rookie, in. They throw to Brock Wright, the tight end, facing 3rd and a pair here. Eagles bring 4. Goff throws in the middle, incomplete, behind St. Brown.
And Jared Goff anticipated he was going to stop fake.
Bang up the middle, the Eagles ready for it, they stop Grant Stewart. Good one next Sunday night. See if Football Night in America starts it at 7 Eastern Time. Again, good field position for the Eagles. Barkley tries to take advantage, twisting to the 35. Gain of 8 for Saquon.
If Saquon can just get it going a bit, it would sure help this man coverage on the outside.
2nd and 2, inside run with Barkley. Got Campbell waiting for him, but a yard past the marker. 1st and 10. Hurts to the air, inside, high, and incomplete. Some hot throw off the hands again. Yeah, it's interesting. He's certainly the line 1. He has been for a long time on those scouting reports. Brown is stopped by Robertson. Amik Robertson again. Only 3 points on the board.
Amik Robertson started as a slot corner, moved outside, but watch this aggressive move in behind and before the offensive lineman could get out. This is once again an opportunity for this Detroit Lions defense.
There was Fred Johnson out there again trying to block Lane Johnson out of the lineup. 3rd and 11. Here's a Hurts run. Taken off, and Hurts hit hard. Stays on his feet. No body part down according to the officials. And a first down for Hurts. It was Al-Qadim Muhammad pulling him down, then the hit.
You're not getting one of the safeties playing down in the box to try and help protect against those runs. So there's a lot left on the table.
Inside. Mashing forward for 3 yards.
After last week and the way this has started.
Devontae Smith came to the backfield. Barkley, open field. Alex Anzalone brings him down. Big loss on the play.
The Lions, one of the few teams that play predominantly with 3 linebackers on the field. Why can they do that? They can do that because they have an Alex Anzalone who can run like that, who can anticipate what teams are going to try and do. A lot of veteran leadership.
And those 3 backers are still out there.
I bet they have somebody spying on Hurts this time.
As he throws inside, Brown's got it. He's shy of the first down.
This one's no layup either, though.
You see the goalpost rocking. Jake Elliott, nice follow through on the kick. And he is good from 34. Man will run to the sideline after the kick by Elliott, which is hard to feel, but is brought in at the 5 by Khalif Raymond. It brings it out to the 26-yard line. Put all of it together, and this Eagles defense has been really good. Lions are feeling that now. Goff had that pass deflected as he was trying to rip it in the middle for St. Brown. Third-round pick, and Howie Roseman had a few of them. Still has 2 left. Goff play action, throwing downfield. St. Brown on the run in space. Amon-Ra St. Brown out of bounds at the 40-yard line, gain of 34. First down, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's going to take this thing across the field. A lot of times they'll want to go inside the next receiver, even inside the tackle in that situation, so that you get a little confused. Who has which receiver, and how do you make that play? And the Lions just desperately need.
Takes it to the Philadelphia 40. Fake to Gibbs. Again in the middle. Jameson Williams on the run. Not going to get him. Touchdown. You are not catching him when he is taken off. And Williams finds the end zone again. Touchdown will stand.
There's just no way to understand the kind of speed that guy has. Watch when he makes the break. And you've got Adoree Jackson who can really run, but it didn't matter.
And this is where the penalty comes from with Williams and the celebration.
The touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct by Detroit, number 1. It's a 15-yard penalty on the PAT.
His ball naturally moves left to right, which just exacerbates that issue. Wide right. Short, picked up on the runner on the 13-yard line, and Gibson will take it to about the 35-yard line. Jalen Hurts from the 36. He throws. It's complete right around the 45 to A.J. Brown again.
2 terrific receivers.
It's back to the air. Lions bring in extra rushers. Cross and complete to Kylan Granson, who gets hit hard by Brian Branch. But Granson has the first down at the 49-yard line. Look that we saw when he debuted on opening night a few years ago in Kansas City. Inside again, Barkley. The tempo here from the Eagles as Barkley gains around 5.
And so then when you get Saquon Barkley a little gap, those plays become big plays.
Tempted here. Pass complete on the sideline to Jahan Dotson.
He doesn't always get the ball very much because Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown have been so good, and of course Dallas Goedert in there as well.
Mishandled, and Barkley got right back on it. Lucky that when it hit a leg, it didn't ricochet somewhere else, and Saquon was the only one there. Tank Bigsby in with Barkley out. Bigsby came over and trade from Jacksonville. Good addition to this Eagles team. 18 yards to the 22-yard line. And a first down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Last 10 minutes, things have loosened up a little bit. Some big plays, including Tank Bigsby for 17 there. In the wild card and playoff standings in the AFC. Bigsby bouncing to the outside. He stopped around the 16-yard line. One deep safety, Harper. Far right of your screen. Slant, thrown, Brown got it, 5-yard line. First and goal, Eagles trying to take the lead. Barkley inside, meets Harper, second ever touchdown. Saquon Barkley.
After review, the runner was short of the goal line. It'll be second down with 32 seconds left.
And Hurts surfs over the top and is in for the touchdown. Officially.
Mike had the perfect words for it. You get down low, and then he does. He surfs over the top of those guys. And obviously what you worry about are those linebackers flying across the top. But you never really see Hurts out of control. He's not leaving his feet. He is continuing to push and push and push. And we know that Barkley can squat.
And so much conversation about officiating the play and false starts. Eagles leaving early. It looked like they left on time on that one. Extra point is added by Jake Elliott. The tush push staying in the game when the conversation was had at the owners' meetings in the spring. Get to the second half with the ball, down 7. Detroit had one good drive, so did Philadelphia. The Eagles' couple of field goals, part of the difference. 13-6, our halftime score. And here's Melissa. Here at the lake where the winds are still blowing, clocked in the 30-plus mile-per-hour gust, just a few miles from here at the Philly International Airport. Jake Elliott's kickoff all the way, a touchback. The Lions, let's make sure it goes out. It does. We'll get it at the 35. Lions spread it out, 1st and 10. And Goff out, Gibbs in space, turns on the Jets. Somebody said he goes from 1st to 5th gear immediately in describing his speed.
So very rarely can somebody outrun a defense to the sideline. In college football, yes. NFL football, it doesn't happen.
5 runs, 2 catches for Gibbs in the first half. Play pass, and here he is for touch number 8 on the night. And he gets another first down. Brock right in motion from the 37. Gibbs running inside. Grabbed by Jordan Davis and pulled down. Earlier in his career, 61% of the snaps this year. He was 45% before that. 2nd and 9, extra rusher comes. It's picked up. Brock right, tight end, spinning, staying inbounds. 5 come, picked up. Goff throwing complete for St. Brown. And the wind will start to factor on passes in the air as you get towards that part of the stadium. Lions need to get it to about the 27.5. Goff throws in the middle, incomplete for Williams. First touch of the second half for Hurts in the offense. Opening there for Barkley, closed quick with Branch, the rookie Tyleik Williams there for the tackle. Gain of about 4 yards. Barkley inside again. Taking Williams and Campbell for a ride. Yard shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Philadelphia.
But those big guys up front now are starting to feel it, and here's another tush push. Oh.
And that's what the Lions defensive lineman reacted
Ball start. Offense number 56. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Backed up to the 37-yard line. Barkley's the back. Hurts, Hutchinson spinning inside. Mailata took care of that. Sideline throw is incomplete.
Anzalone got in the foul, but didn't do it.
Braden Mann to kick. Khalif Raymond back deep. As he's showing a rush, we have a flag for a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense number 10. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
High hanger, fair catch signaled for, 40-yarder. Both backs are in. David Montgomery is deep, and he's got it running left for Detroit. They'll take it out to the 33-yard line. Jalen Hurts 9 of 19 passing, 63 yards on this windy night. Out quick, Gibbs on the edge. Taken off like a rocket. Jameer Gibbs cuts back inside. Cuts back inside again. Look at Gibbs go! All the way to the 24-yard line.
Hurt because they were going to jump in with pressure, and so that gave Gibbs just enough space to catch this ball, and once he does, it is game over. Heck of a job by Penei Sewell on the outside with that key kick-out block there, but that is the speed of Gibbs, and look out.
Yes. On the 24. Gibbs. A couple as he's tackled forward. Inside give with Gibbs to the 18-yard line.
But that's what Detroit has to stay with as well.
3rd and 4, they'll try to do it on the ground, and they do with Gibbs getting the first down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, Detroit. A couple of inside runs for Gibbs on this drive.
Just ride it.
First down, Goff throws. It's caught by Williams. Jameson Williams thrown out of bounds by Adoree Jackson. A spot where the Lions will miss Laporta. He was so good in a mismatch in the red zone. Run inside, Gibbs. Sewell pulled but couldn't take away Blankenship, who made a big play to stop him. Gain of a couple. And it's a run inside again with Gibbs, and he gets barely anything. Goff looking, throwing, back of the end zone, St. Brown, no! Covered by Jackson. Eagles defense last 6.5 quarters, they've been awesome. Philly takes over on offense at the 4. Hurts, nothing going to the sideline for A.J. Brown.
Have just dominated tonight.
Brock Yashin out for a play. Nick Whiteside is the corner. Hurts out of his own end zone, throws on the run, got him! Dotson held on at the 38 and a hit on Branch. Without the rest of their normal starting secondary.
Well, now we're starting to see Hurts do what he does as well. That pressure was coming inside. He circled around it. And really the hot receiver in this game, or big play guy, has been Jahan Dotson. So we end up with a third receiver finally becoming a factor for the Philadelphia Eagles. And
that 15-yard penalty is headed to the end of the play. First down, Philadelphia.
I mean,
they may want to take a look at Maddox here, sitting cold over on the bench.
And they know him as well. Barkley pitch right. Barnes strung him out, but Barkley just gave him a little juke and acceleration.
And if that safety missed, he went for 70 yards.
Branch back in the game. Part of the pressure here. Hurts will go down. Hutchinson and Lopez grab him right around the 45. This Lions team this year.
It's Lopez who's going to get that first pressure inside, and he did this a week ago. He's really starting to make a name for himself on this defensive line. And then, of course, it was Aiden Hutchinson who was able to clean it up on the outside. Aren't going to be a lot of tight ends in this league going to block that guy. And once again, when it looked like the Lions were...
See what the Eagle offense can do. 3rd and 15 against the 3-man rush. Hurts going to launch it towards A.J. Brown, who had throttled down and was blanketed.
Detroit Lions has been under way more pressure. They haven't got anything out of their offense but that one drive.
Khalif Raymond, some room there at the 10. Gets forward for about 4 yards. Lions begin this drive at the 15. Goff off the spot, resets and throws incomplete for St. Brown. Quinyon Mitchell, a terrific second-year corner on the coverage. Getting ready for this one, what he has become in his first year and a half. Goff throwing in the middle, is it intercepted? Nope, hit the ground. 3rd and 10. The Eagles bring 4. Try the screen with Gibbs, who's got the first down, and more. Gibbs taken off again. Still rolling to the 48-yard line. This dude's incredible.
Let's get it to number 0 a few more times. I mean, they even know this screen is coming. Look at that. I mean, they know absolutely what's in front of them. John Campbell had him, and it just continues to amaze tonight. Jahmyr Gibbs.
In the first 3 quarters for Gibbs. They'll pitch Montgomery to the right, and he stretches it out. 7 hard yards there against this flying fast Eagles defense. Go. Throw it in the middle and incomplete. Not open with Brock Wright, the tight end. St. Brown in motion, and Goff has it knocked down.
And Mike, here's the other phase of this. When you have the quarterback sped up, he wants to get the ball out of his hands now. So now you also know if you get your hands up, you can knock it down. So all this fits into one big...
In the first 3 quarters. Yes.
Not even close. Put this defense over the top.
Barkley looking for an opening. Cuts his losses there. The linebackers Campbell and Anzalone. Final half minute of this 3rd quarter. Lions bring some heat. Barkley can find some space here, but a flag down on the back end. As there was a collision, 2 flags come down. As Barkley's brought down at the 49-yard line. A.J. Brown was in a collision in the secondary. That brought at least 1 of the 2 flags.
Yeah, the receiver essentially
Personal
stumbled.
Foul, low block, offense number 11. It's a 15-yard penalty, second down.
Fourth quarter begins. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, Terry McCauley, our rules analyst. Eagles lead by 7. They face second and 18. And Hurts escaping here. Chased by Jack Campbell. Over on the sideline, gets hit awkwardly on that leg. Picked up 7 on that one. It's 3rd and 11. Lions are rushing 3. Spinning away again and throwing sideline. Brown, did he get the feet down? Yes! Through the catch and a first down. Well, let's see, there's a flag on the opposite side.
Before the pass, holding, defense number 21. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Trying to find CC game player. Barkley left. Calcaterra, the tight end, out there to block the flag down as Barkley's got a first down with the run.
Holding, offense number 68. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jordan Mailata. Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach, has turned him into something special. Second team All-Pro. Barkley out, takes Bigsby at the run.
Aiden Hutchinson.
2nd and 14, Lions bring some extra pressure. Hurts throwing, and it's caught by Devontae Smith. He's out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Still another half dozen for the first down. Lane Johnson converted quarterback, then tight end, and then offensive tackle. Design run here for Hurts, got a first down. Anzalone throws him down around the 36-yard line, but Jalen Hurts taking it into his own hands and running a bit more tonight. First down, lofting, Barkley, just missed. Play 9 of this drive. Hurts takes a deep drop here. He is flushed and chased and gets rid of it. 3rd and 10. And Hurts throws that slant to Brown, who's got it. Rock Yassin has him, brings him down to the 30. Kicking with the wind, still gusting enough that the posts are shaking. 49-yarder for Elliott. He's hit 3 really solid balls on his field goal attempts tonight. The first double-digit lead of the night. Philadelphia leads 60.
Taking over those play calls. He's made the play calls. Unfortunately, they haven't had time to execute.
This kickoff will go to the 1, and Jacob Sailors will bring it out for Detroit. Sailors will give the ball to the Lions offense around the 27-yard line. Jahmyr Gibbs has been the only one to be a difference maker for Detroit tonight. He's got it, bounces it to the outside, and gets 11 yards and a running first down to start this drive for Detroit. 1st and 10, pressure comes. Goff tries to step up, just throws it incomplete, trying to avoid the sack. 13 of 27, and he's been 70% plus on the road in completions the last 8 road games. That one's in the dirt. Short for St. Brown and incomplete. Goff is 1 for his last 9. Firing right to St. Brown, who's blanketed by Adoree Jackson. And incomplete.
Oh, wow. And this Eagles defense was tremendous a year ago. But I'm not so sure by the time. At every single level now, the Eagles are destroying a very good Detroit Lions offense.
Contact there. Was the ball touched by anyone? It's batted out of bounds. The receiver was in position to try to make the play. Both will be 8-2 if the Eagles hang on to this 10-point lead with 9 to go. And Dallas Goedert trying to take care of some of that, tackled by Derek Barnes. 8.5 to go. Eagles is trying to run this thing down. Barkley pulled down at the 39-yard line. Play adjusted to this Barkley run. Sure how far that one got. Had to get to the 42-yard line. Down judge, line judge walking in. It seems a bit shy of it.
Don't touch it.
Oh, there you go.
That changed.
There you go.
Ball start. Offense number 80. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Did you hear the Tiger Woody?
Yeah, I the 3rd down. Yeah, that was good too. Braden man the kick. Raymond running up. Gonna tell everybody to get out of the way of it. And it will bounce inside the 15-yard line, and that's where The Lions get a long field to go. 6:14 to go in regulation. Need a big comeback or else they'll be 6-4. They try to get it to Gibbs, and Goff missed that one too. Nolan Smith was out there for Philadelphia. As it stands now, it would be the lowest completion percentage of any game in Goff's career, Detroit or LA. Going to step up here, and it's deflected and incomplete. That'll go as a third pass deflection. 3rd and 10, loading up here, thrown in the middle. There's Jameson Williams. Made a man miss, keeps the run alive to the 42-yard line. 27 on the gain, and first down for Detroit. We're very much in this one.
And these routes take a long time. You'll see how long this takes to develop a zone defense, working back inside, and it's one of the few times that we've seen Jared Goff step up, make a little move in the pocket.
And the Philadelphia 42-yard line. Play action, rush right at him, and it's not the time to complete it.
They're just filling in the blanks.
Here comes the pressure from Dean. It's knocked down again. That time it's Carter. So Davis has 3 and Carter has 2.
They need to remember we're one field goal away from being a one-score game, and the way this is going.
Goff throwing, sideline, incomplete. Dean goes with Gibbs. And coming back from torn patella tendon, too, is Dean. Big surprise here to see 5:10 left. Lions punting the ball. It is caught at the 20 by Gibson. Oh, my. Barkley to the left. Gain of 2. Some poor, wonderful ballet teachers.
Oh, she was, yeah.
Crushed here. 2nd and 8. Just the visual I'm struggling with at the moment here. 4:20 to go. Here's Barkley to the left. To the 29-yard line. Different center on this push. As Brett Toth came into play center.
It's the Lions' last chance in this game.
They lined up to go for it again. I don't know if he got there. I don't know if Hurts got there to the 30. And that'll give Detroit the ball with 2:54 to go. After the head scratcher from the Eagles. Goff spinning. Firing, incomplete for Jameson Williams. That was Cooper DeJean. Graham Glasgow in at center. Here comes pressure picked up by Montgomery, but the pressure goes right through Montgomery, and Goff is ruled down. David Montgomery.
Don't look if you're squeamish. Cooper DeJean is going to blow up a 230-pound running back, and that's going to count as a knockout right there for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And Goff throwing in the middle. That one nearly intercepted. There he goes, being hit. Hit one more time in this game. 14. Here's Bates from 54. Trying to make it a one-score game. And he nailed it. And it is 16-9. So we do have a one-score game with 1:58 to go.
Isn't it? You know what the wind's been like all night here, and he just drilled it.
Remember, he had the extra point that he missed earlier from 48 yards after Jameson Williams had the penalty.
And gain a little position, because if they're knocked back inside the 20,
some rain starts coming down for good measure. This ball hits in the end zone. Barkley. Forward to the 39. Lions take a timeout. 1:53 to go. 2nd and 5. Lions crowding the line. Barkley met by Jack Campbell. 2 yards there. Timeout Detroit. 1:49 to go.
Jalen Hurts running the ball when it matters. This seems to be when they do run him.
3rd and 3 becomes 3rd and 8.
Ball start, offense number 74. It's a 5-yard penalty. There's no 10-second runoff. The clock was not running. It's 3rd down.
And Hurts throwing right side, incomplete, and a flag. It's been called.
Interference, defense number 23. Ball's placed as final foul. 1st down.
Eagles try to manage the clock here and close it out. Barkley inside. 4-0. Lions will take their final timeout with 1:42 to go. Barkley stopped. Clock will run. Next snap should come around 56 seconds or so. Philadelphia wants to run max time. They take a delay a game before 4th down. If there's a 3rd and 8 stop, it is Barkley running inside. Saquon spinning right to the line. He's got the 1st down, and that'll do it. And the Eagles get to celebrate. Hurts takes a knee, and that wraps this one up. A little controversy with the call at the end, but the Lions offense held in check. 14 of 37 in the air. Philadelphia gets the victory, 16-9.